Welcome to the Golden Hour with me, your host, The Golden Dawn.
Hello there, family. Welcome to episode 10 of the Golden Hour podcast with me, Dawn. That's right, it's me again. I don't know who you were expecting, but you got me. Today's episode is called The Physical Matters. You see what I did there? That's the English teacher in me. That was like a double entendre. Get it? Physical matter and the physicals matter. Y'all not with me, whatever. So, all right, guys. So this one is really exciting to me because this isn't one that I've dug into research about. This is one that was just kind of on my heart a little bit. So hopefully it reads differently to you guys in the way that I'm thinking it, because so many of these things I'm just trying to educate myself, but this one has been something that I like to talk to other people about. So instead of it being like a self-education, I'm hoping that this one resonates with some of you. So what I'm thinking when it comes to physical and matter are basically the idea of your body is your vehicle, and while you're here, this is how you exist as a human. You need your body. So a lot of people, I feel like, are honestly disrespectful of their bodies, not recognizing the fact that this is your vessel. This is how you travel about this plane. You need this body. I mean, I meet these people who eat McDonald's like 3 days a week and then put premium in their gas tank and get it washed 3 times a week with a wax every Saturday. But yet you eat McDonald's. Those things don't go together. Your body is your whole vehicle, so you have to treat it better than your actual leased vehicle. Like, let's be real. So I'm thinking of it in 3 different ways. First of all, I'm thinking of the things that we eat, you know. Are we eating McDonald's, or are we making sure that we are, eating something that's got that high vibration? I'm thinking of how we move our body. Like, if you are capable of moving your body, are you doing that? And I'm also thinking of who you allow to enter your body, or who you enter, in whose body that you enter. And so in those 3 ways, the physical is super important, and it can really make or break some of your manifestation goals in terms of your growth as a spiritual being. So like I said, again, these are my opinions. This is how me and my homies talk. These are the kind of things that we talk about. Hopefully, like I said, they resonate with you. And then if not, don't unsubscribe. Just take it with a grain of salt and keep it moving, right? So the first topic was eating and what we eat. So a lot of people that I talk to don't necessarily recognize how important what you eat in your physical body, how that affects your spiritual maintenance, basically. So I can definitely share with you my own personal journey. I'm not a vegan. Let me just put that out there. But I would consider myself to be plant-based. So I still do eat eggs and stuff like that. I know vegans, don't shake your head at me. It's a thing. But I try to make my food mostly plant-based. But pretty much my whole life, I would have considered myself to be a carnivore. I just, beef, want to eat that meat, yum, 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 right? That was my thing. But as I got older and tried to double down on my spiritual growth, there were times when after dinner, I would be so lethargic and not wanting to move and just want to watch TV and not focus on anything. I felt like no get up and go. Also, I started noticing I was getting really bad stomach aches, and at one point, I've always been lactose intolerant. I wasn't unaware of that, but it was just a little tummy rumble, right? But then it turned into straight up nausea and all kind of crazy things just by eating a slice of pizza. And so with all of these things happening, I kind of realized that it was time in my life to start paying better attention to the things that I ate. And I'm not lying to you, the more I got into making sure that my energy came from plants, the better I was able to focus during meditation, the better my dream life was. I just had a better experience with my focus on manifesting and my energy towards meditation and prayer. My energy was so much better. And so when I think about food, I try to think about what kind of food is high vibrational. And when I keep saying that term, because to me, that term means how close are you to the sun? So on Earth, everything that's on Earth that's alive has some kind of connection to the sun in some way. Obviously, like that is, we are a solar energy planet. Everything is connected to the sun. So with that being said, that's where our energy comes from, the sun. And so when you eat food, you want to eat food that has its energy straight from the sun. And food that comes from the sun, that's plants. Plants eat sunlight. And so when you eat a plant, you're eating food that is directly energetic from the sun's rays. But then if you were to eat a cow eats plants. And so the cow got all the plant nutrients, but then when you ate the cow, all of the nutrients have been dispersed into the cow, so you get very little of the same nutrients that might have come from the grass that the cow ate. And then if you go a step further and say, for instance, you ate, I can't even think of a carnivore animal that we eat. Can't think of one. But if you were to say eat an animal that ate an animal, you're getting all of the nutrients dispersed from the first animal. Now you barely have any. Then that animal ate that animal, and now you really barely have any. And then you eat it, and then there's no nutritional value in that. Now, here's the thing that I know a lot of you are rolling your eyes and saying, well, we need protein, don't we? Well, funny you say that, because yes, animals can give you protein. Yes, that happens, right? But your biggest bang for your buck with proteins come from so many different plant items. You can get your calcium from plant items. You don't have to, it's not coming from cow milk. That's not even the kind of milk like the kind of vitamin D that we digest so readily. You know what I mean? All of these things you can get from plants. Even when it comes to like, I don't know, just so many things. Like I'm thinking about beans right now, legumes, like they give you so much protein. And think about it. If you ate meat, you might get the protein. Okay, great, good job. You got protein. But what about your colon health? Is your colon better because you ate the meat? I don't think even a carnivore out there or somebody who really loves meat is going to really sit there and honestly say that my colon health is better because I love to eat cows. You know what I'm saying? So you want to find foods that kind of energize multi-functions of your body. Like it has to do a lot of jobs. Like say for instance, when you drink water, you already know water's going to affect your hair, your nails, your eyesight, your vision, everything. It affects everything in your body, and that's what you want your foods to do. So you want to have high vibrational foods that travel through your body and do good work throughout all of your systems. You don't want to eat food just because you say it's good with protein and it clogs up the rest of you. What good is that? And to be honest, even if you're one of those people who are more plant-based but you're still eating some meat, do a gut check. So, and not to get too into it, but like, does your poop stink like the high heavens? That's a sign that it shouldn't do that. Like, of course, nobody's poop smells yummy, but it shouldn't be like a deathly smell. Then you know that you want to check yourself. Your engine's off if that's the case. So, I mean, honestly, as a mom, and I'm sure there are other moms who do this, but like if I go into the bathroom after my kid, I know if my kid is sick or not because of what it smells like. It's just a thing, and it's real. And I mean, I think we should talk about it more often, right? Because we should all be healthier people. But you have to eat high vibrational foods if you want to vibrate higher. It's not gonna work. If you are a dinosaur of a person and all you eat are T-Rexes as your dinner, you're just gonna go to sleep. You're not gonna meditate. You're not gonna think about how to take over the world in the best way. You're just not. So then you're gonna move on to the second part, which was how do you move your body? This one is big for me. So anybody who knows me in real life knows that I have a bit of a hummingbird personality. Like I like to flit from thing to thing to thing. I do. And I have a lot of energy. Like I just want to do stuff. I want to go. I feel like I always joke I play with my kids that I go out to play more than they go out to play. Like I just want to do stuff. But your body is designed to move. It's designed that way. Now, obviously, I'm not speaking to people who have a reason where they can't get out and move. Like that's a different situation. I don't want to be disrespectful to that. But if you are able to move your body and all you're doing is sitting in front of the couch eating potato chips and watching reruns of whatever you're watching, you're not doing any justice to your body. That's what it was intended to do, was move. So, and I don't mean like just for the sake of it, like an arbitrary, like go get like P90X videos and just go for it. If that's not for you, that's not for you. But the thing is, you have to find out what is for you, because if you're not moving your physical body and getting that energy flowing throughout your body, again, it's going to stifle all of your ability to, think on a deeper level. For me, I know after I had all 3 of my kids, it was so hard for me to get back into an active lifestyle, because I gained 50 pounds on my last baby. And I knew like after my last baby that I wanted to like get rid of that weight, but I wanted to do it in a sustainable way. So for me personally, I started off real slow. I actually bought a treadmill and was just walking in my house every day after work for an hour, just walking, watching my favorite show. And it was like a mandatory thing that I had to do. So at this point, when I started that, I was 230 pounds and very unhappy and not meditating and not very connected, right? So I started like to walk until I got to 200 pounds. And at that point, I was actually able to meditate a little bit better, because I was feeling better in my body, in my vessel. Like it felt like a place where I wanted to be. I know some people out there who might have had weight issues. Sometimes your body feels like a place you don't want to be in, but you're there anyway. And so at that point, when I had gotten down to like 200, then all of a sudden my body was a place I wanted to be in. And at that point, I found that it was able to do more. So when I got to 200 pounds, I started running. And I really liked it, and it became almost like a moment of meditation between me and like the pavement of running. But once I kind of conquered that, and I was able, I think my most was like 7 miles that I could get up to at one time. But after that, it kind of got boring. But I didn't want to lose that feeling, and so I was looking for like what's next. And then we got into like, I don't want to call it extreme mountain climbing, because that's like Everest. But for me and my crew, we got into extreme mountain climbing where we were going out every weekend and like going up mini mountains, I guess. But like that was our way of getting our blood going, and the level of communing with nature and communing with the universe that you get on a hike, tell me about it. Like you don't even know about that. And then when the season kind of dried up, we switched to, and this is where I really turned into like a whole child, but we switched to roller skating, which to be honest is like my favorite form of like body meditation, I'll call it. And I know out there I have people who agree with me, that feeling of like, you can feel like your blood vibrating through your body and your heart's all up. That's like my favorite feeling. I'm always chasing that feeling. And so that was like my most extreme level of that. But it was like I was so tuckered out at the end of every night. You like that word, tuckered out? You show my age. But I was so tuckered out at the end of like every like session. It was actually so easy to pull myself into meditation mode. So it's funny because like I'm talking about eating, I'm talking about exercising, but I'm saying it in a way like it was for meditating. It was for making myself spiritually stronger. So both those things go hand in hand. But then here we go. Here's the kicker. The last one that I wanted to like pull out was the idea of who you allow to share your body. That's such a huge one. And I think that there's so many people who downplay how important it is to be really careful about who you share your body with. So I'll be really frank with you guys. I talked to you guys, I'm pretty sure last episode, and I kind of talked about some of the trials and tribulations that I had in my relationship before this one. Well, in that particular relationship, that person made it clear, like they said it to me, that they believe that because we're together, that they have access to me without question. And so at that age and at that stage of my life, I believed that was true, that if we call ourselves together, then now you have access to me and you don't have to ask. And I allowed myself to be used in that way whenever, no matter how I felt, I just let that person, enter without me wanting to be there and being a part of it. That is the worst thing a person can do. And as a mother now of daughters, like this is what, this is the message that I'm sending, is that when you have that exchange, you're either not either or, you will keep something of that person and you give away something of yourself. So every time I allowed in that relationship for that person to enter me, he took something away every single time. There was no feeding, something good back. There was no exchange. It was just a taking. And so when I had my real relationship, I've been married for over 12 years now, I think, something like that. I don't know. I'm bad at numbers. But so we've been married all this time. But because of having something taken away from me so long, it took like twice as much time to build it back in. And nobody wants that. Nobody wants to have to go through that rebuilding process just to be at their spiritual best. So I always kind of say that it was my husband who allowed me to just heal and be free and just back off. And because of that, I was able to grow into who I was supposed to be. But if I were to have stayed in that other relationship where that person was just taking and taking and taking, I'd have just been a dried up shell of myself, a big husk of myself. Which, if you ask my sisters, I was that person. I was just a husk. And nobody wants that rebuilding step. Not if you're already made to be perfect. If you're perfect already, like, why should you be rebuilt? That's not a thing, right? So, instead, you want to make sure that you're not causing, what was I gonna say? I wrote so much. Sorry. So anyway, sorry. You want to make sure that you're sharing with a person. You're not just taking from them, or they're not just taking from you. When there's actual love and respect and a commune, there's definitely a give and take. You feel energized from it. You feel refreshed from it. The next day is better from it. Like, that exchange sex shouldn't make you feel like less than. So many of these things, though, are addictions. We're addicted to the way we eat. We're addicted to the way we move or don't move. We're addicted to the way we choose to have sex and interact with people in that formal way. So with that being said, I don't expect that any of this be like, for the people who this resonates with but are not yet here, I don't expect that this be something totally like, oh, I'm going to drop everything and be this kind of person who now cares about working out and eating and whatever. Like, that's not the expectation. But the expectation is to start the process of that slow grow into who you really are by caring about the person that you are, caring about your vessel, realizing when you care more about your car than you do about yourself. Realizing that. And of course, when I say car, you can replace that with anything else. But recognizing that even though, if we go to food, even though it tastes good, it may not be good for you. Okay. Recognizing with movement that even though this activity is hard, the rewards are so necessary and I feel so much better. Recognizing that even though I think I like having sex with this person, they're actually not edifying my soul even a little bit. Think about all of these things. And remember that for me, it was 37 years. Well, when I started this process, I guess 30 years. But 30 years of undoing, you know? And now it took for me to be 37, almost 38 years old, for me to get to a point where I feel comfortable expressing my growth to other people. And so it's not an overnight thing. This is something that you have to deal with forever. I mean, I even talk to like my mom. She's like addicted to sugar. She'll tell me that all the time. And she's trying so hard to not be that person, but it's an addiction. It is. So all of these things that have brought you pleasure or what you thought was pleasure during your life, they can be really addictive. All of these behaviors can be very addictive. You know, it's really, really addictingly easy to sit on the couch and not go outside and play. It's really easy to do that. It's really easy to get caught up on the internet and just say, tomorrow I'll go do something. Tomorrow I'll make my body sweat. Or it's easy to say, I can't sweat now because my hair's done. You know what I mean? Like, whatever. It's so easy to say that. But it's hard to say, hey, I'm going to go out and make sure that I ignore all my sweets today because I know white sugar is not going to be for me, or I'm going to skip the burger and try the Impossible Burger this time. Those are some of the choices that you can make that are a little bit easier, you know, that you can do. So this was just a short podcast because this is on my heart, actually. This is just something I wanted to share. And I definitely recognize that a lot of people are rolling their eyes at me like, well, who are you to tell me? But for others of you, this might resonate and this might be exactly what you wanted to hear. And it might be exactly what you wanted to hear from a person you wanted to hear it from. Who knows? I don't know. But I guess I can't worry about who the message is not for, and I'll just worry about who the message is for. Okay? Well, with that being said, guys, it's 20 minutes in. We're a little short because we got straight to the point, but that's okay. Let's do our 3-minute reset and then I'll let you go about your Fridays, okay? So right now, if you're at home with me, if you're on YouTube, get comfortable. Like, find your seat. I'm in mine. My seat and my shirt match today, which is nice. I don't know why it's nice, but it just made me feel good. It's the little things. So anyway, 3-minute reset. Close your eyes with me. Take a super deep breath, cleansing breath in. Breathing in self-acceptance. Breathing out addictive behaviors. Again, breathing in all the things that help you to be a better you. And breathing out all the nonsense that keeps you from that. While we're breathing, just relax your forehead. Feel the wrinkles just smooth on out. Now relax your eyelids. Feel the fluttering stop against your cheeks. Relax your cheek muscles. If you're like me and you can't stop grinning. Drop your tongue from the roof of your mouth. You feel your jaw loosen with relaxation. As you sit, watch your thoughts just float on by, unjudged by you. They just are what they are. They pass on through your field of vision like clouds in the sky. Now let's set your intention for the rest of the day. For me, I will honor my body as the temple that it is. Take a moment to send your gratitude back into the universe. Being thankful for all the growth you've shown to this point. And now open your eyes and you're ready for the day. Well, guys, thank you for joining me again. For all of you out there who have sat through 10 episodes, thank you. I appreciate you. Please subscribe. Please leave a review if you feel so, encouraged, but definitely please subscribe. And if you like what you see here, rate this. And if you don't like what you see here, why don't you throw me a comment at I am Golden Dawn on IG and let me know some things that you'd like to hear from me, or things that maybe you'd like to see done differently. I don't know. All opinions are valued here. So we'll see you next time. I don't know who we are. I'll see you next time here at the Golden Hour Podcast.